Hello, students, and welcome to your English language class. I hope you all are doing great. Today, in this class, we'll be learning about modals. Now, what are modals? Modal auxiliaries are helping verbs which are not affected by person or gender. Example will, would, shall, should, etc. Now, students, modals are your helping verbs. These auxiliaries express the mode or manner of the action denoted in the main verb. They are always used along with the main verb. So these are the helping verbs. Now let us understand the nature of modals. They are never used alone. They must have a principal or main verb with them. For example, I can play the violin. Here you can see the main verb is play and can is used as a helping verb here. So can is a modal. They have the same form throughout whatever the person and the number of subject is. For example, I can run, they can run, you can run. So here you can see with all the first person, second person, and third person, we are using can. They don't have infinites or participle form. We can't use to with them or the past participle form or write can, driven, etc. In most cases, they show present or future time. Now, here's the list of modals: shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, must, ought, dare, need, used to. So now in this class, we'll be taking only half of the modals. So let us start with the uses of modals, and the first modal that we have is shall. Now shall is used whenever we want to express future with the first person I or we. Like for example, here's a sentence: I shall sing a song tomorrow. With I, we always use shall. We shall play a match in the evening. Whenever you want to express future with the first person means I or we, then we must always use shall. Next is to express a command, threat, or promise. You shall leave this place at once. When you are giving a command to someone, then you can use shall. Or a threat: if you make a noise, you shall be punished. Or a promise: he shall get a prize if he wins the match. In interrogative sentences, shall is widely used with the first person to indicate offer or suggestion and with the third person to know the desire of the person spoken. Now, like for example, shall I make a cup of tea for you? If you're offering someone something, which book shall I buy? Asking to suggest. In a complex sentence, however, will and shall are always used in the principal clause and never in the subordinate clause. I shall help if he works for me. So you see that it is always used in the principal clause and never in the subordinate clause. Whenever you're talking about a complex sentence, you know what a complex sentence is: the sentence having principal clause and the subordinate clause and is connected with a word. Will is used in to doubtful case. Now let us talk about the next modal that we have, should, which is the past form of shall. Now we use should to express duty or obligation. Like for example, we should keep our word. Now that's our duty or that's our obligation, that we should keep our word. To express supposition: if I should meet him now, he will not recognize me. Whenever you are supposing something, then you can use should. To express advice: you should not tell a lie. If you are advising someone, you should always use should. To express condition: should this happen, I will resign. Now, this is a conditional thing that if it happens, I will resign, then we can also use should. As past tense of shall in indirect speech. I said that I should sing a song the next day. Now, direct speech में अगर हम कहते हैं I shall sing a song tomorrow, then in indirect speech we'll use should in place of shall. I said that I should sing a song the next day. After lest, showing fear. Walk carefully lest you should stumble. Now, whenever you are showing your fear, then also you can use should. Now, this is your third model, will. To express future tense, he will go home today. Now, with second person or third person, we can use will. He will go home today. To express intention, promise, threat, and determination. Like for intention, I will go home today, like I intend to go home today. I will try to do better next time, that's a promise. And if you're threatening someone, I will avenge his death. कि मैं उसकी मौत का बदला लूंगा. I will do or die, determination. That's your, whenever you want to show your determination, then also you can use will. To express assumption or request. Will you please open the door? That's a request. He will be here anytime. That's a assumption. To indicate characteristics or habits, insistence or invitation. Like for example, he will be talking all the time without doing anything. That's his habit. This machine will work very well and will not give any trouble. That's the characteristic of the machine we are talking about. Will you have tea? That's invitation. And he will not follow my instructions. That's insistence. Now let's talk about would. That's the past form of will. As past tense of will in indirect speech. He told me that he would go to Delhi. Now, here you can see this is the direct speech. He said to me, I will go to Delhi. That was the direct speech. And when we change the direct speech into indirect, then will becomes would. He told me that he would go to Delhi. To express a habit in the past, he would sit all the day with the book in his hand. Here, would can be substituted by used to. To express willingness, I would do my best to satisfy you. And to express wish, then also we can use would, like, for example, would that I were wealthy. To express a request, would you please open the door? That's a request. Now, the next modal that we have is can. Can is always used to express ability, like I can swim across a river. To express permission, you can go now. To express possibility, this road can be blocked. So there is a possibility that this road can be blocked. Now could, as you know, past form of can. It can be used as past tense of can in indirect speech, like we've already done before. He said that he could solve the problem. Direct speech में था, he said I can solve the problem. To express ability in the past, I could swim across the river when I was young. तो आप अपनी जो पास्ट में आपकी एबिलिटी थी आप उसको बताने के लिए यू कैन यूज़ कुड. टू एक्सप्रेस पोलाइट रिक्वेस्ट, कुड यू प्लीज़ लेट मी हैव योर बुक. जब आप पोलाइटली किसी को रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं देन ऑल्सो यू कैन यूज़ कुड. टू एक्सप्रेस पॉसिबिलिटी, दिस रोड कुड बी ब्लॉक्ड. सो यू सी, and also to express permission, could I use your telephone? Now the seventh modal that we have is may. To express permission, like for example, you may not go. When you are giving permission or when you are seeking permission from someone, then we must use may, and it's a formal way of seeking permission or giving permission. May I come in? To express possibility, he may come today. There's a possibility that he may come today or he may not come today. The road may be blocked due to the procession. To indicate a purpose, like for example, we eat that we may live. Now why do we eat? We eat so that we may live. To express a wish, faith or hope, may you live long. When you are wishing someone to live long, you must say may you live long. May his soul rest in peace. So you are hoping that his soul will rest in peace. Now the second or the eighth modal that we have is might, past form of may. To express a suggestion, For example, he might join college. To express less possibility when you're not very much sure, he might win a prize. To express a purpose, he worked hard that he might live. Might is the past form of may. He said that Ram might come. Now, as we have already discussed, that whenever we use direct indirect speech, then might will be used as the past form of may in indirect speech. The direct part was he said Ram may come. So in indirect speech, we'll write he said that Ram might come. Now to express permission, might I begin my lecture? To express guess, that might be the PN. Now let's read about must. To express compulsion, you carry out my orders. Here must is missing. You must carry out my orders. Whenever you are compulsing someone, then you must say that you must carry out my orders. To express determination, I must finish the work by next Tuesday at any cost. That is your determination. So must is used whenever you are expressing compulsion or whenever you are expressing determination of someone. To express some strong possibility, there must be some mistakes somewhere. So there's a strong possibility that there are some mistakes. To express obligation or duty, whenever you are expressing someone's obligation or duty, like you must follow orders of your seniors. So that is your duty or that is your obligation. Now, the next modal that we have is ought followed by a to infinitive. We must always use ought with to. I mean, ought to. It's not only ought, it's always followed by to. To express moral obligations, duty, or desirability, for example, you ought to love your elders. That is our moral duty that we must love our elders. Then, how will we write? You ought to love your elders. The idea of obligation can also be expressed with should or must. However, ought to is used when a feeling of duty is involved. You see students, हम ought to की जगह should और must भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं जब भी हम कोई obligation, कोई idea of obligation express करना चाहते हैं, कोई duty या कोई desirability यूज़ करना चाहते हैं. लेकिन ought to हम तब लगाएंगे जब एक feeling of duty उसके अंदर involved है. The negative form of ought to is ought not to. To express probability or to give advice. The person ought to be humble. So that was ought to. Now, dare. What do you mean by dare? When you are challenging someone for doing something impossible or which is not possible so easily. Like dare as a modal auxiliary means to be bold enough to try something. It is commonly used in interrogative and negative sentences. Let us see the example. Dare he fight with me? क्या उसकी हिम्मत होगी कि वो मुझसे लड़े? He dare not fight with me. That's an negative sentence. She does not dare speak to her father. That's also a negative sentence with dare in it. It does not take S in the third person singular in present tense. When it occurs without do, it takes an infinitive without to. He dare not do it. Okay. Uh, Now let us know about need. Need is used to express necessity in negative and interrogative sentences. It does not take S in the third person, singular, present tense, and takes for its objects an infinitive without to. Like, for example, he need not go. Need I go there? So, you see, you need not have wasted your time in gossips. Used to. Now, the next modal that we have is used to express past habit. I used to play in that playground when I was a child. Now you are expressing your past habit here. To express the existence of something in the past. There used to be an open ground long ago. So that was the existence of something in the past. Now this is a table for your modal verbs here. Now for ability, we can use the modal verbs can or could. Like, for example, David can speak 3 languages. He could speak fluent French when he was 5. And for permission, we can use can, could, or may. Can I sit in that chair, please? Could I open the window? May I borrow your dictionary? Advice, if you are giving someone a piece of advice, then we must use should. You should visit your dentist at least twice a year. You should try to lose weight. An obligation or duty, must or have to. I must memorize all of these rules about tenses. You have to take off your shoes before you get into the mosque. And whenever you are showing possibility, then we can use the modals might, may, could, can. It looks nice, but it might be very expensive. Richard may be coming to see us tomorrow. So, this is the table for your modal verbs, and you can have a fair enough idea where and how to use your modal verbs. Now, modal verbs for asking permission can, could, may, would. Let us just see. Whenever you are asking permission, or whenever you're asking for a favor in an informal way, then you should use can. Like, for example, if you're asking for a pen from your friend, then you can say, can I borrow your pen for a minute? Can I speak to John Wilson? That's a more informal way of asking permission. And for being polite, we must use could in place of can. Could I please have a glass of water? Could I open the window? And if you are seeking permission in a more formal way from your seniors, from your teachers, then you should always use may. May I ask a question, please? May we go home now? So that's a more formal way of asking permission. And if you want to be polite, then we must always use would. Would you mind if I asked you something? So you see, this is the modal verbs for asking permission. Hope you have understood all about modals here. And if you've got any doubt, you can ask me in the group about modals. And here's your homework. You have to fair up all the content given in this video in your fair notebook. And you must submit your homework in the group by tomorrow evening. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video.